Sean the Butcher. I'm hanging out with Reba and Jamie from Code Orange. What is poppin'? How's it going?
What's up,
Hey,
Sean?
Yeah, always a pleasure to see you guys, even on a Zoom session in a goddamn pandemic. But none of that matters because Code Orange are thriving right now. Two brand new albums in a pandemic. First one came out right at the beginning of March when the pandemic hit. The album Underneath was a smash hit. We've been playing the hell out of Swallowing the Rabbit Hole on Sirius XM Liquid Metal. Then I get slapped across the head with this brand new release, Under the Skin, a sort of MTV unplugged performance that Code Orange put their own twist on. And what I love about it is that it's unplugged, but it ain't really unplugged because you guys can kind of do whatever the hell you want. There are no limitations. There are none of that. And how freeing was that for you to be able to kind of do whatever the hell it is you wanted with this unplugged performance?
I feel like it was super freeing. I feel like it was, it was freeing in a way. It was also just like a new set of challenges. And, for people who haven't seen it, basically the concept was to pay tribute to like an MTV Unplugged, but add these kind of new digital world twists and turns that I think we're starting to become known for sonically, visually. We shot a full VHS, almost like horror movie a month before that was based around some of the character stuff that kind of takes place in our album. And so we wanted to create this this collage of old and new and pay tribute in a cool way. But like you said, it doesn't have to be unplugged. We are obviously a band that has a lot of electronic elements. So, mixing those two things together is exciting. It's like a different thing. That's what got me jacked on the idea. I think Rebo, and she could speak for herself, but obviously loves acoustic guitar and loves rock. And so do I. So when she came to the idea, I think it was more from that angle. And, then I got to throw all that me and Chad got to throw all that electronic shit in there and piss her off. But then she ends up, we all end
well,
up
I,
liking
I
it.
think it was almost even just more of not a remix version of the songs, but just a reimagination, and in the sense of, there's just so much depth in each one of those songs that I think a lot of times people hearing them off the bat don't necessarily realize, because unless you're really a true core fan of ours, which some people maybe, but there's a lot of nuance in a lot of these songs, especially as we got older and especially on the songs on Underneath. And this kind of gave us the opportunity to delve into that and recreate a lot of the electronic elements and just flip flop it and move it around. And I think as long as each song still had that dark feeling that is at the core of every one of our songs, then we would just move forward with that, as opposed to looking at it in a construct of instruments and instrumentation. It's like it's always about that feeling, and that feeling connected with the visuals. So yeah, we never had our minds closed on any way of instrumentation on this stuff. And I know I started off, as Jamie said, thinking about it more from the guitar sense, because that's just where my head's always at. But with him and Shay coming in on their end, and us all having that idea of that mood that we wanted in our heads, we were really free to make that happen in whatever way possible.
Well, you're right. There's a lot of depth to the songs, and there's a lot of depth to this performance, because not only is it the music and the guitars and the cameras around you and the candles and all that, there's all the, like Jamie was saying, there's this horror element to it, like in between songs, these little segues of, it looks like a dude being tortured, but then it looks like he's being made part of this like bigger unit, and it's all this really weird, twisted stuff. And I love the way that this whole thing was put together. And I was thinking about it, and as I was thinking it, it's funny because your electronics guy, guitar guy, Shade, posted basically what I was thinking, that this amazing performance, this masterpiece release from Code Orange, Under the Skin, almost happened by accident. Like without this whole pandemic happening, you guys would be on tour right now. You'd be pushing the record. You'd be thinking about a million other things. And with the whole world stopping and you guys needing to reroute everything, like Jamie says on the DVD, life does not give a fuck about plans, and things change up and things switch up. Was this an idea that was on the back burner that you thought maybe 10 years down the line we'll do it, or later on we'll do it? Or was this like, oh, pandemic, we got to do something quick. What's a great idea? Was this an idea that you already had, or was this something new?
No, we definitely didn't have it. I mean, we love those performances, but no, it was totally new. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for this situation. And I really do, I do feel good about this situation in some ways in terms of, I think we're really setting ourselves up for the people who like us to understand us more. And by understanding us more, I think they're going to connect with us more. And I already see that a lot. I think we're starting to develop a really loyal group of fans that are really supportive. And I think we've seen a lot more positivity than we've seen in the past. We definitely got, especially on the last record, you know, there was a lot of negativity mixed with all the great things we were doing, which I definitely understand, because I think sometimes I there was times where the message was conveyed maybe not in the wrong way verbally, but we weren't able to back up some of the things we were saying artistically, verbally. And I think every time we get to do one of these things, it just proves what we've been saying, which is, you know, that we do feel we're one of the best bands in the world, and we can do anything. We could do anything we put our minds to doing, and there's a lot of different angles that we can come from. So I'm happy that I really feel that we're rallying our people at the very least behind us with all this stuff and with giving these things to them. So when it is time, you know, to get out there, and again, I'm sure we're going to be out there opening up for other established bands or whatever. We have those roots, which again, we've always had roots because we've been grinding for many years. We've been touring since we were teenagers, but I think we're starting to hoard them in together, which was a goal of ours going into this record and going into Underneath. So yeah, to answer your question, this was definitely a totally new idea. And
look at how beautifully it worked out. Like, I'm
so
sure it
far,
was stressful, but it worked out. I've watched that performance over and over and over again. I ordered the DVD. I have not stopped talking about it on air. I'm very
thank you.
stoked to see everything going on with Code Orange.
Well, so far so good, but
Hmm?
don't you cut this shit. Motherfuckers, listen to me right here. Octane, all this serious shit. What we've been told in the past, even when we go on the little test drive and this and that, and we win, okay? What we're told is it's not accessible enough. People switch it. So we've came and given you the gift of this very accessible, but still forward thinking, still challenging piece of work that I think a lot of the he's writing down the timestamp to cut right now.
Not at all.
A lot of people that are listening to whatever the heck's on there would very much enjoy. So what we're asking for is we need a shot. I don't want a test drive. I want an actual shot where our shit is played on these stations, namely Sirius XM Octane, because I fucking love Sirius Liquid Metal. Sirius Liquid Metal is what I listen to, and I think it's badass. Sirius Octane is what older people and people who listen to other forms of radio listen to. That's why certain kinds of stuff gets on there. That's why that kind of stuff does better. So we need a shot. We've done our half of this, which is deliver a really what I think is awesome piece of art that is more for everyone than anything we've ever done. But the B half of this is that for it to matter, for it to mean anything in terms of you talking about these unplugs and this and that, ours won't mean shit if the only people who ever hear it are the people who already like us. If people who already like us. This is for them, but it's also for other people.
New audience.
XM, I won't name names. You know who I'm talking to.
I promise. I was writing down my buddy. I'm going to see my buddy from Octane today.
Go.
And I was writing it
Give
down.
us a shot.
Yes.
We need a shot. There's not that many new bands coming through with something that's organic. That's something like the bands that all these people claim to have liked from the past were, which is a real motherfucking band. We are a real ass band, and we deserve a shot. You don't got to play In Fear, which is what you just heard before. I realize it's psychotic, but we got Sulfur Surrounding. We got our Autumn and Carbine. We got Underneath. We got The Easy Way. We have all these songs that, while they were in no way created for this purpose, which is why they're badass, they serve this purpose. So Play our shit.
Well, exactly. And that's what I want to get into is that I know Code Orange as a hardcore band, ripping, just destroying on the stage. To see this acoustic performance, to see Under the Skin, and you're stripped down and you basically go from screaming your ass off to singing and seeing how well that music translates. And now you release a song that was on your album Underneath, excuse me, Sulfur Surrounding. It has translated over to this acoustic performance on Under the Skin, and it's quite possibly my favorite song of 2020, my favorite Code Orange song ever.
Thank you.
I feel like this song was made for acoustic, made for strings. It almost sounds like the version on Underneath is an alien version to me, and that this new version on Under the Skin is, I mean, I think it's the top of the Code Orange pyramid. I cannot believe how well this all came together. Does this change your perspective on maybe future songwriting or how things might come across on future Code Orange albums?
I don't think so, because Code Orange is a prism. Code Orange is a tightrope. It's about the balance. The balance is what is it's that Jedi balance, you know. You tip the scale, you tip one way and you tip back the other way, because we are rooted in extreme aggressive music. I definitely hear what you're saying, and I love this version too. I love the original version. I think it's the original version I love because it's that song inside, and you can hear that song, but it's new, it's modern, it's fresh, it's something different. It is alien, from an alien planet though, not in a bad way. You know, it's what the aliens might rock. So all I'm saying is I like that newness. I also like doing things like this, that again, peeling back that onion, showing what's inside, showing people what's in the song, because to us, we hear it, we understand it, but I've learned over time that people don't always hear it that way, and I totally get that, and I respect that. So I absolutely love the version. The song's made for a stadium in Blade Runner or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it needs to be in a stadium, in an arena in Pittsburgh, you know? We need to be able to take this song not at 11 o'clock on the festival, at fucking 9 p.m. on the festival, because that's where it should be. It's that kind of song. And at least I think a lot of our fans agree. So I'm psyched you like it, because I love that song, man. We've been pushing for that song.
The passion in Reba's voice, the passion in the performance, the passion in the playing is all incredible. Reba, was this one of your favorite songs that you did on the Under the Skin album?
Absolutely. I mean, it was also just challenging. And as he's been saying this whole time too, it's like we thrive on the challenge. I know I thrive on every challenge. And whenever that's put in front of me, it's almost like when I have that feeling like I'm not sure I can do it, that tells me like I need to do it, you know. And trying to be as powerful as possible and as passionate as possible on that song, that was a challenge. But I absolutely love the song. And doing this Under the Skin version, it just showed kind of what the guts were, what kept that mood, and having both versions out there, you know, not knowing that wouldn't be the case if it weren't for the pandemic. It makes it worthful. You know, I don't have to feel like we didn't do shit. You know, I feel very proud and very like we really took this time and made it what we needed to make it for ourselves.
Hell yeah. Not only did you not do shit, you released 2 albums in a pandemic. I cannot stop stressing that point because it is incredible. No other band has been able to pull that off. And I know, again, things are very difficult, but the fact that you work together and function as a unit, like Wu-Tang said, you form like Voltron into this machine where all the parts are playing their own role and filling in in one area where one person's lacking, another person has strength in that area. And how you can build it and make it all this cohesive unit is incredible. Pick up the brand new album Underneath. Pick up Under the Skin, the performance. Check out Code Orange. What are you on Twitch? Is there like a follow on Twitch or whatever?
Twitch.tv/Code Orange Official, and follow us on our various social media, because we're doing stuff on Twitch, but we're also doing stuff elsewhere. So the last show we broadcasted on Twitch, but also YouTube, Facebook, everything, so more people could see it. So keeping the loop at Code Orange TOTH on everything.
Thinners of the herd, baby. Shout outs to Jamie. Shout outs to Reba, Code Orange. I love you guys. I love this brand new album, Under the Skin. Off that, this is my favorite song and possibly my favorite song of 2020, Sulfur Surrounding. Code Orange, much love, much respect. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.